invisible gods and visible results. This is a very important topic that will help a lot of people to understand the domain of the divine. Because it's not visible. What is not visible? God is not visible. It is very difficult to relate to it, God. And then there is no guarantee whether the result came because of our own efforts or God's doing. So all these things are out there, making it difficult to understand the divine or God. And then you look at the monotheism and the concept of an abstract God who has no form, is a later development. Both these are later developments because as man began to question everything and then developed this modern civilization, and God became a very difficult concept because it is a materialistic science and technology that we have developed. And God is non-material, so it's very difficult to understand something that cannot be brought into some kind of an intellectual, rationalistic framework. So monotheism is somewhat acceptable for most people because they cannot deny God, but they can't even relate to so many gods with different forms and names. So that is okay. And then, and he is invisible, that's okay. But what is not okay is the visible form of God. It's not okay. Although if you take a look at the invisible versus the visible, it is science too. And because everything visible comes out of the invisible. Atoms, subatomic particles are invisible. And just because they are invisible doesn't mean that they don't exist. They become visible at the molecular level, or when they even become gross compounds, so they are visible. Now, so what is important from a practical perspective is that whether he is visible or invisible, I will resolve this to you. And I just even made this analogy that invisible becomes the visible. That should help you to understand the invisible. The invisible is a lot more powerful than the visible. And God is both visible and invisible. That is the concept. Within Hinduism, they resolve this by two terms. One is saguna, which is a form which has all the characteristics, forms, names, attributes, etc. Then is another term, nirguna. There is no characteristics, which is invisible and cannot characterize that reality. But they both are the same. This is how you can resolve. The reason why I am more interested in comparative religion is it can help you to understand problems which you face. How come there are so many gods? And a mystic, for instance, Manikavasar, a mystic who I have worked extensively on, says, let's dance giving 1,000 names or several thousand names to this invisible God. Yes, it's true that he doesn't have a name or a form, but we will attribute them so that we can relate ourselves to them. And then God takes any form that the humans want to see them, like in different religions, different gods. So there is no problem at all, completely no problem at all. Because somebody, because even in Hinduism, there is among the elite, the gods with attributes are not acceptable. This is the Upanishadic prejudice. There's a prejudice that came, intellectual prejudice they have. That prejudice did not, sustain itself because people started building temples, even to the Buddha who said there was no God, there was no soul. They built temples for the Buddha. They made Buddha himself into a god. It's not wrong. Everything is a symbol. Even the invisible, the word is there as a symbol. Okay. So what is important is that, are you getting any results? This is where I'm coming to the core of this presentation, which is, are you getting any results? That is the most important thing. Even will you get the results after 2 days, 4 days, or months later, or not at all? You must get the results right now. And that is why the concept of the Holy Spirit and the modality that it will work only after Jesus leaves the body. This is a very important concept. See, this is a little hard to understand, but not too hard. Why did Jesus say that I cannot give you the Holy Spirit now? I will go and send him. But he also said that he's already in you. So this is all confusing. If he's already in you, then how is he going to go and send it? It is very complicated, but if you understand why he said that, you'll be able to resolve this problem. Now, the Holy Spirit is nothing but the Spirit of Jesus, the Spirit of the God, the Spirit of the God in all religions. The Holy Spirit itself is what we can say the Spirit. And that Spirit can give you everything. It is with that Spirit that you can do miracles. He was just revealing a divine secret. Hey, you don't have to work so hard. You don't have to have any skill set. All that you have to have is to be in communion with the Holy Spirit, which I am going to send on the Pentecostal day. Then everything will happen. Because it will get into your body, mind and soul and guide you. Then you can do everything. Now, is there only one Spirit? No. There are so many gods, and all of the gods have these spirits. And then you can get all of them. By inviting Ganesha, which I have done so many videos on him, or Shiva, or Vishnu, or the Buddha, I did even do a video on Osho. Osho was able to get the spirit of the Buddha, and he didn't like the Buddha's attitude, so he said to the spirit of Buddha, get out of my body. Okay, so there is everything, is explainable, but then people don't want to go deep into understanding religion. And that's what I'm trying to do. And why most people are not by nature interrogative. They are not trying to understand what life is, what what are the best way of living life. That's why very few people are successful, because they put the effort to understand what's really going on, and I got to understand this. And then they create, they invent, they do everything. The other people are not. And the important thing is, you don't have to worry about it, because that is the nature of reality, that only maybe 0.1% of the people are very, interrogative and, analytical, and the rest of the people are not. So Jesus came and then gave, okay, don't worry, the Holy Spirit will run your life. It will give you miracles. So that's why I started this program, and then I will expand the concept of the Holy Spirit to encompass the world religions in the program that I am planning to do. Tomorrow, I will come, and for a few minutes I'm in the middle of doing a lot of things tomorrow. And Mohini is going to do a great session for you, but I will still come tomorrow morning. God bless.